Have you ever felt a deeper calling, a sense of untapped potential within you, waiting to be unleashed? Do you sometimes feel like there's a greater purpose to your life that you just haven't discovered yet? Imagine connecting with a part of yourself that transcends the physical realm, a part where unlimited potential and your true essence reside. This is your higher self, the divine spark that guides you with intuition, inspires you with wisdom, and aligns you with your true purpose. You might have felt this guidance in moments of deep intuition or those gut feelings that seem to know the right path even when logic fails. In this video, inspired by the teachings of Dolores Cannon, we'll explore the 10 unmistakable signs that you are finally merging with your higher self. Whether it's through profound dreams, heightened intuition, or a newfound sense of peace and purpose, these signs are your higher self's way of communicating with you, helping you to navigate life's challenges and discover your true path. Stay tuned, because by understanding these signs, you will unlock the key to living your most authentic and fulfilling life, embracing the incredible journey of becoming who you were always meant to be. 1. Understanding your higher self. Deep within each of us lies our higher self, a part of our consciousness that transcends the physical and taps into our true essence. Imagine it as a divine spark within, guiding us with intuition and inspiring us with insights. Your higher self is that inner guide that speaks to you through feelings, dreams, and moments of clarity. It's the part of you that remains calm and centered, even in chaos. Connecting with your higher self is like reuniting with an old friend who always understands you. It's about recognizing that you are more than your thoughts, your body, and your circumstances. To illustrate this, let me share a personal story. A few years ago, I was stuck in a job that drained my energy. I felt lost and disconnected from my passions. I decided to take a weekend retreat to unplug and reflect. During a guided meditation, I had a profound experience. As I sat in silence, I felt a warm, comforting presence within me. It was as if an old friend had come to visit, bringing a sense of peace and clarity. This was my higher self, and it felt like a long-awaited reunion. I realized that the dissatisfaction I felt was a sign that I was not living in alignment with my true essence. The retreat allowed me to tap into my inner wisdom, and I left with a renewed sense of purpose and direction. I began to make changes in my life that aligned with my passions, and slowly but surely, my outer world started to reflect this inner shift. Think of it like this. When you're in the zone, completely absorbed in what you love, be it painting, writing, or hiking, that's when your higher self is shining through. It's those moments of flow where time seems to disappear, and you're at peace. This is your true essence, your highest potential manifesting. By acknowledging and nurturing this connection, you allow yourself to live more authentically and purposefully. Understanding your higher self is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey. It requires regular moments of stillness and introspection to tune into that inner voice. The more you listen, the clearer the guidance becomes. Your higher self is always there, ready to guide you towards your highest good. It knows your deepest desires and the path to fulfill them. Trusting this connection allows you to navigate life with greater ease and joy, knowing that you are aligned with your true essence. Speaking of aligning with your higher self and creating a life you want, if you're ready to take your journey to the next level and attract huge money effortlessly, there's something you don't want to miss. Check the link in the comments below to discover the shocking wealth secrets revealed by a rogue NASA scientist. This could be a game changer for your financial journey. Now, let's get back into our exploration. 2. Trusting your intuition. Have you ever had that gut feeling so strong it seemed to defy all logic? It's like a magnetic pull, a whisper from deep within you saying, "This is the way." That's your higher self communicating. Trusting your intuition is like tuning into a frequency that's always been there but often drowned out by the noise of daily life. Picture a moment when you faced a crossroads and something inside you nudged you toward a particular path. Maybe it was choosing a job that felt right despite a lower salary, or deciding to call an old friend out of the blue. These moments, seemingly irrational, often lead to experiences that align perfectly with who you truly are. For me, one of the most transformative experiences of trusting my intuition happened when I was debating whether to move to a new city. Everyone advised against it. It was too risky, they said. But my gut feeling was unshakable. I trusted it, made the leap, and it was one of the best decisions of my life. I found new opportunities, made lifelong friends, and discovered parts of myself I never knew existed. Moving to that city was not just about a change in location. It was about honoring a deep inner knowing. It didn't make logical sense at the time, but it felt undeniably right. This is what it means to trust your intuition, to honor that inner voice that knows your deepest truths. Trusting your intuition doesn't mean ignoring logic. It means balancing it with your inner guidance. When you learn to listen to and trust your intuition, you open yourself up to a life that is more aligned with your true self. It's like having a built-in GPS that guides you towards your highest potential. Think back to a time when you followed your gut feeling. Perhaps it was a decision that seemed insignificant at the time, but led to unexpected opportunities and joy. Those moments are your higher self guiding you. By trusting your intuition, you are not only making decisions that align with your true self, but also strengthening your connection to your higher self. The more you practice trusting your intuition, the more confident you become in making decisions that feel right for you. It's a skill that develops over time, requiring mindfulness and self-awareness. By embracing your intuition, you allow your higher self to lead the way, creating a life that is authentic, fulfilling, and true to your essence. 3. Seeking solitude and inner peace. You might find yourself craving solitude, realizing that true connection comes from within. As fear fades, replaced by love, you reclaim your personal power and become fearless in pursuing your goals. Solitude isn't about loneliness. It's about finding peace in your own company. It's in these quiet moments that you can hear your higher self most clearly. For instance, I often take long walks in nature when I need to reconnect with myself. Away from the hustle and bustle, I can hear my thoughts, process my emotions, and find clarity. There was a time in my life when I felt overwhelmed by the constant demands of work and social obligations. I was always surrounded by people and noise, leaving little room for introspection. One weekend, feeling utterly drained, I decided to spend a day alone in a nearby forest. As I walked among the trees, I felt an immediate sense of relief. The quiet allowed me to hear my inner voice, something that had been drowned out by the chaos of daily life. During these times, you might start to see your fears for what they are, illusions created by past experiences and societal conditioning. In the silence, you begin to unpack these fears, realizing that many of them are unfounded and rooted in external influences. I remember sitting by a serene lake, reflecting on my deepest fears. As I sat in stillness, I started to understand that these fears were not real threats but mental constructs I had built over time. This realization was incredibly liberating. As you spend more time in solitude, you begin to understand that love is the only real thing. This shift in perspective is powerful. It's like seeing the world through new eyes. You start to make decisions based on what feels right for you, not on what others expect. I began to notice that my priorities shifted. Activities and relationships that once seemed important lost their significance, replaced by a desire to pursue what truly resonated with me. Solitude allows you to strip away the layers of societal expectations and external pressures. You start to live more authentically, guided by your higher self. This inner journey transforms how you view yourself and the world. You become more compassionate, not just towards others, but also towards yourself. You understand that you deserve to live a life that aligns with your true essence. Fearlessness isn't the absence of fear, but the courage to move forward despite it. When you're in tune with your higher self, you realize that you have the strength and wisdom to overcome any obstacle. Solitude helps you tap into this inner reservoir of power, making you unstoppable in your journey toward your goals. I recall a period when I was faced with a significant career decision. The fear of the unknown was paralyzing. But during a quiet meditation session, I felt a deep sense of calm and certainty. My higher self reassured me that I was capable and that I needed to trust the process. That moment of clarity gave me the courage to take a leap of faith, which ultimately led to remarkable personal and professional growth. Solitude is not just a temporary retreat, but a vital practice for ongoing growth and self-discovery. It teaches you to be comfortable in your own skin and to trust your inner wisdom. In these moments of stillness, you connect with the deepest parts of yourself, gaining insights that guide you towards a more fulfilling life. By embracing solitude, you develop a stronger connection with your higher self. This connection empowers you to pursue your dreams with confidence and resilience. You learn to navigate life's challenges with grace, knowing that you have an inner guide that will never lead you astray. Seeking solitude and finding inner peace are not just about escaping the world, but about returning to it with a renewed sense of purpose and a clearer vision of your true path. In essence, solitude becomes a sanctuary where you recharge and realign with your higher self. It's a space where you can dream, reflect, and plan without distractions. As you integrate this practice into your life, you'll find that you approach each day with a greater sense of calm and clarity, ready to face whatever comes your way with unwavering confidence and inner peace. 4. New perspectives and acceptance. As you begin to merge with your higher self, you'll notice a profound shift in how you perceive the world around you. This is not just a subtle change, but a significant transformation in your worldview. You start to understand that the concepts of good and bad are not as rigid as you once thought. Instead, you see them as subjective, varying from person to person based on their experiences and beliefs. This new perspective fosters a deep sense of compassion and open-mindedness in your interactions. Imagine walking through life with a new lens, one that doesn't judge or categorize, but seeks to understand and empathize. For example, there was a time when I used to get frustrated with people who had different opinions than mine. I saw things in black and white, thinking my way was the right way. But as I started to connect with my higher self, I began to see the shades of gray in every situation. I remember an encounter with a colleague who always seemed negative and critical. In my earlier mindset, I would have avoided them or felt irritated. But with my new perspective, I started to see their behavior as a reflection of their own struggles and pain. Instead of reacting defensively, I approached them with kindness and curiosity. This simple shift transformed our relationship. I learned that they were dealing with personal issues that influenced their demeanor. By accepting and understanding their perspective, I not only helped them feel seen and heard, but also enriched my own emotional resilience. This shift in perspective extends to all areas of life. You begin to appreciate the diversity of human experiences and recognize that everyone is on their own unique journey. This acceptance creates a ripple effect, bringing more harmony and understanding into your relationships and interactions. 5. Dream messages. Dreams are a fascinating and powerful way our higher self communicates with us. Paying attention to your dreams, especially vivid or lucid ones, can provide profound insights and guidance on your life path. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, aptly said, "The dream is the small hidden door in the deepest and most intimate sanctum of the soul." For me, dreams have always been a gateway to deeper understanding. There was a period in my life when I kept dreaming about water, vast oceans, calm lakes, turbulent rivers. At first, I dismissed them as random images, but as they persisted, I began to pay closer attention. I started keeping a dream journal, noting down every detail upon waking. Over time, patterns emerged. I realized these water dreams were reflecting my emotional state and my subconscious mind's attempt to process unresolved feelings. One particularly vivid dream involved me sailing on a stormy sea, struggling to control the boat. It was terrifying, yet strangely exhilarating. Upon waking, I felt an urge to explore what this meant. Through meditation and introspection, I understood that the stormy sea symbolized the chaos in my life at the time, the uncertainty and fear I was experiencing. The act of sailing represented my attempt to navigate through these challenges. This dream was a direct message from my higher self, urging me to trust my inner strength and resilience. It guided me to confront my fears and embrace the tumultuous journey as a necessary part of my growth. By acknowledging and reflecting on my dreams, I gained valuable insights into my subconscious mind and received guidance on how to navigate my waking life. Dreams are not just random sequences of events, they are rich with symbolism and meaning. They offer a direct line to our higher self, providing wisdom and clarity that our conscious mind might overlook. By paying attention to these nocturnal messages, you can tap into a wellspring of inner knowledge and use it to guide your decisions and actions. 6. Shifting relationships. As you merge with your higher self, you'll inevitably notice changes in your relationships. This is a vital sign that you are aligning with your true self. Your higher self attracts connections that reflect who you are becoming, leading to more authentic and fulfilling bonds. I remember when I started my journey of connecting with my higher self. Suddenly, I felt a disconnect with certain friends who once felt like family. It was confusing and painful at first. These were people I had shared my life with for years, but as I grew and evolved, our paths seemed to diverge. The conversations that once felt enriching began to feel shallow, and the activities we enjoyed together no longer resonated with me. Initially, I resisted this change, clinging to these old relationships out of loyalty and nostalgia. But my higher self kept nudging me, gently encouraging me to let go. It was during a particularly introspective meditation session that I had a breakthrough. I realized that by holding on to these relationships, I was not honoring my true self. I was afraid of being alone and the unknown that came with releasing the familiar. Once I accepted this, I began to attract new people into my life who were more aligned with my values and aspirations. These new relationships felt effortless and deeply fulfilling. They were based on mutual respect, understanding, and shared growth. I met individuals who inspired me, challenged me, and supported my journey towards my higher self. Letting go of toxic relationships doesn't mean you are rejecting those people. It's about creating space for new connections that support your evolution. It's a natural part of growth. As you change, your external environment, including your relationships, must also change to reflect your new state of being. Embrace this process with compassion for yourself and others. Trust that your higher self is guiding you towards relationships that serve your highest good. 7. Meditation and stillness. When you are finally merging with your higher self, one of the most powerful signs is a newfound ability to find profound peace and clarity through meditation and stillness. This isn't just about connecting with your higher self. It's about experiencing a deep, transformative merging that changes how you interact with the world around you. Let me share a personal story about how meditation revealed to me that I was merging with my higher self. A few years ago, I was struggling with anxiety and a constant feeling of being overwhelmed. My mind was always racing, jumping from one worry to the next. I knew I needed a way to find peace and clarity, so I decided to give meditation a try. At first, it was incredibly challenging. I thought meditation was about emptying my mind, which only made me more anxious when I couldn't do it. But then I learned that meditation is not about forcing your mind to be blank. Instead, it's about being present and observing your thoughts without judgment. I started with just 5 minutes a day, sitting quietly and focusing on my breath. Gradually, I increased the time, and the practice became a sanctuary for me. During these moments of stillness, I felt a shift, a deeper connection, and merging with a part of myself that felt infinitely wise and serene. It was as if a veil was lifted, revealing a higher aspect of my consciousness that was always there but often overshadowed by the noise of daily life. Through consistent practice, I began to experience moments of profound clarity. Answers to problems that had been troubling me surfaced effortlessly. It wasn't just that I was understanding myself better. I felt as if I was tapping into a source of wisdom and peace that transcended my everyday experiences. This deeper understanding brought a sense of inner peace that I had never known before. Meditation also taught me patience and acceptance. I learned to sit with discomfort and embrace it as part of my growth. In these still moments, I connected with a wellspring of inner wisdom, guiding me towards my true path. It was a transformative experience that signaled a true merging with my higher self, enriching my life in ways I had never imagined. 8. Synchronicities. Seeing repeating numbers or experiencing meaningful coincidences. These synchronicities are signposts from your higher self, guiding you towards the right path and reminding you to stay aligned with your truth. I remember a time when I was going through a major transition in my life. I had just left a job that no longer fulfilled me and was uncertain about my next steps. Every day felt like a struggle, and I was desperate for some guidance. That's when I started noticing repeating numbers everywhere: 1111 on the clock, 222 on license plates, 333 on receipts. At first, I brushed it off as a coincidence, but the frequency was too high to ignore. Intrigued, I started researching the meanings behind these numbers and discovered that they were messages from my higher self, encouraging me to stay positive and trust the journey. The more I paid attention, the more synchronicities I noticed. Songs on the radio seemed to speak directly to me, strangers would say things that resonated deeply, and opportunities began to align in unexpected ways. One particularly striking experience happened when I was contemplating a new career path. I was sitting in a cafe, lost in thought, when a book fell off the shelf next to me. The title was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, a story about following one's dreams and listening to the heart. It felt like a direct message from my higher self, urging me to pursue my passions. These synchronicities became a guiding light, reminding me that I was on the right path and that I was not alone. They were gentle nudges from my higher self, encouraging me to trust the process and stay aligned with my truth. By paying attention to these signs, I felt a deeper connection to the universe and a sense of reassurance that everything was unfolding as it should. 9. Divine connection. During deep introspection, you might experience a profound sense of oneness with the universe. This divine connection transcends the physical and brings a deep sense of peace and understanding. Let me take you back to a moment that changed my life. It was a quiet evening, and I decided to go for a walk in the nearby forest. The air was cool, the sky painted with hues of orange and pink as the sun set. As I walked deeper into the woods, I felt an overwhelming urge to sit down and just be still. Sitting on a fallen log, I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. At that moment, everything around me seemed to fade away, and I felt an intense sense of connection to everything. The trees, the birds, the earth beneath me. It was as if the boundaries between me and the universe dissolved, and I became one with the world. In this state of divine connection, I experienced a profound sense of peace and understanding. I felt the presence of something greater than myself, a loving force that embraced me with warmth and compassion. It was a feeling of coming home, of being exactly where I needed to be. This experience of onness brought with it a deep sense of clarity. Questions that had been weighing on my mind suddenly seemed insignificant. I understood that everything was interconnected and that my struggles were part of a larger, beautiful tapestry of life. This divine connection reassured me that I was supported and guided by a higher power. After that evening, I began to incorporate moments of deep introspection into my daily routine. Whether through meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in nature, these practices helped me cultivate a sense of divine connection more frequently. They reminded me that I am not alone and that the universe is always conspiring in my favor. 10. Affirmations and visualization. Affirmations are powerful tools that can transform your life by reprogramming your mind for success. By repeating positive statements and visualizing your goals, you align with your higher self and manifest abundance in your life. Let's delve deeper into how this process works and share a personal story that highlights its transformative power. Several years ago, I found myself in a place of stagnation. I was stuck in a job that felt unfulfilling, and my personal life was a series of repeated patterns that led to frustration and disappointment. I knew I needed a change, but I wasn't sure how to break free from the cycle. That's when I stumbled upon the concept of affirmations and visualization. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself regularly, ingraining them into your subconscious mind. The idea is that by consistently telling yourself positive, empowering messages, you begin to believe them and act in ways that make them a reality. Visualization, on the other hand, involves creating a detailed mental image of your desired outcome, engaging all your senses to make it feel as real as possible. I decided to give it a try. Every morning, I started my day with affirmations. I would stand in front of the mirror and say things like, "I am worthy of success and happiness. Opportunities flow to me effortlessly, and I am in alignment with my higher self." At first, it felt a bit awkward, almost like I was trying to convince myself of something I didn't quite believe. But I persisted, determined to see if this practice could make a difference. In addition to affirmations, I dedicated time each day to visualize my ideal life. I would close my eyes and imagine myself thriving in a job that I loved, surrounded by supportive relationships, and living in a beautiful, serene environment. I didn't just see these images in my mind. I felt them. I imagined the joy, the peace, the excitement, and let those feelings wash over me as if they were happening in that very moment. After a few weeks, something incredible started to happen. I noticed a shift in my mindset. The affirmations and visualizations began to take root in my subconscious. I felt more confident, more hopeful, and more in tune with my higher self. This newfound sense of self-worth and clarity started to reflect in my actions and decisions. One day, an unexpected opportunity came my way. A job opening in a field I had always been passionate about, but never pursued because I didn't believe it was feasible. Encouraged by my affirmation practice, I decided to go for it. I updated my resume, prepared thoroughly, and approached the interview with a confidence I had never felt before. I knew I was aligning with my higher self and that this was the right path for me. To my amazement, I got the job. This was more than just a career change. It felt like a validation of the power of affirmations and visualization. I realized that by aligning my thoughts and beliefs with my higher self, I had opened the door to new possibilities and abundance. But the transformation didn't stop there. In my personal life, I began to attract relationships that were more fulfilling and supportive. The positive energy I was cultivating within myself drew like-minded individuals into my orbit. I found myself surrounded by people who uplifted and inspired me, mirroring the affirmations I had been repeating daily. Visualization also played a crucial role in manifesting tangible changes in my life. I remember vividly visualizing a serene home environment where I could feel at peace and connected with nature. Within months, I found a new place to live that matched my visualization almost exactly, a cozy apartment with a small garden where I could meditate and feel grounded. Through this journey, I learned that affirmations and visualization are not just about wishful thinking. They are powerful tools that help you tap into your higher self, aligning your thoughts and actions with your deepest desires and true potential. When you consistently affirm positive beliefs and visualize your goals, you reprogram your subconscious mind, which in turn influences your behavior and the reality you create. Affirmations and visualization have the power to transform your life because they help you see and believe in possibilities that align with your higher self. They shift your focus from limitations to abundance, from doubt to confidence. By aligning with your higher self through these practices, you open yourself up to a life filled with joy, purpose, and fulfillment. So, start today. Create affirmations that resonate with your deepest desires and begin to visualize your ideal life. Repeat these affirmations daily and immerse yourself in the feelings and images of your visualizations. Trust the process and watch as your life begins to transform, reflecting the alignment with your higher self and the abundance you are destined to manifest. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovering the signs that you are finally merging with your higher self, inspired by the profound teachings of Dolores Cannon. If you felt those deep calls, experienced those intuitive nudges, and found a sense of peace in moments of stillness, you're already on the path to aligning with your true essence. Remember, connecting with your higher self is a beautiful, ongoing journey. It's about tuning into that inner guidance, trusting your intuition, and embracing the changes in your relationships and perspectives. By acknowledging these signs and nurturing this connection, you open the door to living a more authentic, fulfilling, and purpose-driven life. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others who might benefit, and subscribe to my channel for more content on personal growth and spiritual awakening. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so please leave a comment below. How have you been connecting with your higher self? What signs have you noticed on your journey? Thank you for watching, and remember, your higher self is always with you, guiding you toward your highest potential. Stay true to yourself and keep embracing the incredible journey of becoming who you were always meant to be. Until next time, take care and stay connected.